Hi everyone, it's Helen Hortai here, founder of Form Help, and today we will be filling in the Australia Travel Declaration via the app. So if you haven't already downloaded the Australia Travel Declaration app, go in and download it through the App Store or Google Play Store. Now, as noted here, it says before you can use the Australia Travel Declaration mobile app, you need to create an account in order to sign in. And for this part here, I've just selected continue, and then it will take us to the sign in page. So once you've created your account, just sign in with your email and your password and sign in. Next, you'll just need to press send verification code, and you'll receive a verification code in your email. Put that verification code in the box provided and then press verify code. Once your email has been verified, just click continue, and it'll say success and select next. Here it says your passport's information is saved to your device in a secure manner. In the following screen you will be prompted to create a password. So if you're happy to go ahead, select continue. And here is where you can set a passcode to sign into the Australia Travel Declaration mobile app. So go ahead and set your passcode and then re-enter your passcode to confirm. And on this page you can see that you can make a new declaration or view an existing declaration. So in this example we are going to go ahead and make a new declaration. And as noted below, please ensure you submit a declaration at least 72 hours but not earlier than 7 days before you depart for Australia. You will need a valid passport, trip information, destination details and contact details, and each adult should submit their own declaration, and parents should complete a declaration for any child under 15 years of age. And once completed, you will receive an email with the Australia Travel Declaration, which you can print or download. You can also access the declaration from this account, and you may be asked to show the declaration before boarding and on arrival in Australia. And to submit, you will need, number one, to use the app to scan the passport and read the passport chip, and number two, answer the questions. Now it says please note to use the valid passport you will present on arrival in Australia. When you're happy to go ahead, select continue. Now have a read of the pre-filling passport biodata information, and if you're happy to proceed, then select agree. Now in this section here, traveller details, please add passport details for the person who will travel to Australia. Alternatively, if you have used this service before, you can select a previously saved scanned passport from the option list below. And for this example, I will go ahead and select scan a new passport. Next, I will go ahead and select I am the passport holder. However, if you are not the passport holder and you're submitting it on behalf of someone else, then select the option below. Next, you are required to scan your passport, so you need to remove any cases or covers from your document and mobile device. Open your passport to the personal data page and place the passport on a flat surface. Ensure your fingers do not cover any personal information and avoid any glare, reflections or shadows. And the full page must be inside the frame, including the 2 lines of numbers and letters at the bottom of the page, and the app will prompt you to adjust the device to make sure you capture your documents correctly. These prompts will appear in a text box at the bottom of your screen. And just also note, access to camera is required to scan the passport to proceed with the declaration. So go ahead and select scan passport. And you'll see this message here, ATD would like to access the camera. So the app needs access to the camera in order to scan the passport. So go ahead and select OK. And ensure that your passport page fits within that red box there. Now the next section is the read passport chip section. Now it says place the phone on top of your passport's front cover as shown in the animation above. So move your device slowly around the document until the app recognizes the passport chip. The chip is located in different places in different documents, so keep your device still when the app starts reading your passport chip. Now for this exercise I found that it worked once I had placed the top half of my phone just above the chip at the bottom of my passport. So once you're ready, just select Read Passport Chip. Next, it'll come up with Ready to Scan. So you place the back of your mobile device to the front of your passport and slowly slide it up and down until the chip is located. And once the chip has been read, you'll get a big tick. Next, you'll see all the information that was scanned from the chip. It says check that the information below is correct. Rescan your passport if anything is missing or incorrect. Once you've checked that, if you're happy with it, press confirm. You'll then see this message here, passport successfully registered, and then proceed to continue. Now this is the journey details page, so it says please enter your flight details for your flight arriving into Australia. So the correct format, ensure you have the correct format for the flight numbers. Go ahead and add in your departure country, the departure date, the arrival date, the arrival port, and the flight number. Now, if I'm flying from New Zealand to Australia via Fiji, I would be putting in my Fiji to Australia flight details in this section. So my departure country would then be Fiji and not New Zealand, and the flight number would then be the Fiji to Australia leg of the journey details. Hope that makes sense. And then select next. Now I'm going to allow access to my photos because I need to upload my vaccination certificate later on. And this question is, are you an Australian citizen, permanent resident, or immediate family member? So select yes or no. And if you did select yes, question 1.3 is you must declare if you have visited or will visit any of these countries in 14 days prior to your flight to Australia. So have a read of those countries. In my case, I will select no, I have not visited any of the listed countries, and then go ahead and select next. Question 2, have you travelled or will you travel in the 14 days prior to your flight to Australia? In this example, I will say no and select next. Question 3, put in your phone number while you are outside of Australia and then proceed to next. Number 4, put in your email contact details when outside of Australia and then next. Question 5, are you transiting through Australia to another country? Make your selection. In this example, I will select no. And then the follow-up questions are 5.4, provide your address in Australia, so street number and name. 5.5, put in your phone number in Australia. 5.6, alternative phone number in Australia, and that is optional. And then proceed to next. Question 6, before you travel to or transit through Australia, you must present a negative COVID-19 test when checking in for your flight, unless you are exempt. The COVID-19 polymerase chain reaction PCR test must be taken 72 hours or less before you depart for Australia. So to find out if you are exempt, for more information, click on that link there. Click yes to acknowledge you understand this requirement. I will go ahead and say yes and proceed to next. Question 7, has a doctor ever told you that you had COVID-19, or have you ever tested positive for COVID-19? Select yes or no. However, if you do select yes, the next questions will be provide the month and year of the diagnosis. 7.2, what country were you in when you had COVID-19? And 7.3, do you have any evidence to show your positive COVID-19 test result? If yes, bring your evidence with you when you travel. Question 8, have you ever received a COVID-19 vaccine? If you answer yes to this question, expect the next questions. 8.1, how many individual COVID-19 doses have you received? Next, you need to put in your first vaccination date, your first vaccination country, your first vaccination brand of vaccine, and there will be a list of vaccinations for you to choose from, so you make your selection. And then you just repeat that process again. So your second vaccination date, second vaccination country, and the second vaccination brand of vaccine. Question 8.2, do you have any evidence to show your vaccination history? If yes, bring your evidence with you when you travel, and then select yes or no. So question 8.2.1 is upload evidence of your COVID-19 vaccination. So go ahead and attach your file. And the file I attached was just a photo of my COVID-19 vaccination certificate, and then I uploaded that. And take note that the document you are uploading is no greater than 5 megabytes in size, and is one of the following file types: PDF, JPEG, GIF, TIFF, PNG, or a WebP. And once you select attached file, it will come up with the following options: add a photo, take a photo, or browse files. So make a selection from there. And once you've uploaded your evidence, it will appear under 8.2.1. Question 8.2.2, do you have additional evidence of your COVID-19 vaccinations? Select yes or no, and then proceed to next. Question 9, please provide your vaccination status. I am fully vaccinated with an Australian approved recognised COVID-19 vaccine. I have evidence to support this. My last dose of the vaccine was at least 7 days before the day my flight is scheduled to commence. Note, you are required to provide this information if you are more than 12 years and 3 months old when your flight departs. Select yes or no, and then next. Question 10, which state or territory quarantine arrangement applies to you on arrival in Australia? Note, you must comply with public health requirements, including post-arrival testing and quarantine requirements in the state or territory of your arrival and any other state or territory that you plan to travel to, and then detailed information on the link provided. So make your selection and select next. Question 11, are you experiencing any symptoms of COVID-19? Fever, sore throat or cough? Yes or no, and next. Question 12, have you or anyone you are travelling with been in contact with a known case of COVID-19 in the last 14 days? Yes or no, and next. Next, you will come to your summary, and it says please review the details below before submitting the declaration. So go through and check all the details, your journey details, the questionnaire, and make use of the edit button to the right of each section in case you do need to edit any of that information that you've inputted. And then at the end is the declaration, which reads, by ticking this box, I have provided my consent and declaration to the matters explained in the importance notice. So have a read of the importance notice, and if you're happy to go ahead, place a check in the box and continue to submit. You will then see the following message come up: your declaration has been assessed. Please check your email or view existing declarations below to see the outcome of your declaration. So if I go ahead and press on view existing declarations, I should be able to see my outcome there, or I can also check my email, which will have my outcome there. So as you can see in my email, the status, there is a green box there. It says your Australia travel declaration has been assessed. Your responses indicates that you meet the requirements for a quarantine-free arrival into Australia where permitted by the jurisdiction of your arrival. Please print or download this email and store it safely for use when requested on your day of travel. And it also has your QR code there. And at the bottom it says why keep this notice. Now you may be requested by airline staff to show that you have completed your Australia travel declaration. You may be requested by Australian Border Force officers to show that you have completed your Australia travel declaration. So that's why you need to keep that notice. And if I wanted to view the outcome on the app, just press on view existing declarations, look at the assessed part, and then it will read pretty much the same as what your email said. It will have all the same information and also your QR code right there. And just to be extra cautious, I would actually print off that email. I would also print off the QR code, print off my international vaccination certificate, just to be on the safe side. Okay, that's Helen Hortai, founder of Form Help, signing out. Hopefully that was helpful. If you found it helpful, please consider subscribing, sharing, liking, and all the best on your applications.